single one of you.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here.
All right, good day, wherever you are in the world today, whether it's morning, evening, or anywhere in between. Welcome to unRekt Traders. Today we're going to take a look at Cardano on the Machine and the Nexus. So starting in here on the monthly, on the Machine, we have price pushing up into that 3.2. Now price does only leave the 3.2, 3.3% of the time. And we can see that even when we had this move up with the 10 pushing up on the quasi here, the 20 did break out into trend. When it did come back down, we can see that even with this candle here, the body of the candle didn't close inside the Bollinger Band. We did have a wick come down, but the body did close above it. Going into the next month, price pushed up, and now we have extremely strong support at that 57-cent level. Coming into the weekly, again we have the 3.2 above us at 89 cents. Finding support just on top of the 200 as of right now. Now we are in trend on most things other than the 200, which is the purple, and we have pretty strong support sitting at 66 and then again at 60. So again, we have a pretty major level on the weekly here. We can just, if I draw in the trend line here, basically right in here somewhere, we have pretty strong support. Again, pretty much where our 10 is at, and the 20 and the 100. But again, same thing, price pushed down. Wicks can go all the way down as far as they want, but the body themselves can't close below the quasi support level. So because the 20 white here is above that plus 100, the wick can go down, but the body itself has to close above it. Just the way it is, the way it works. All right, so weekly, not really telling us too much. We're basically stuck between the 66 and 89 as of right now. Now price did come back down to the 10, found support off of it, and pushed right back up quite strongly. So we'll go into the 3-day. On the 3-day itself, everything is bullish. The 10 is starting to come back down. Hasn't come into that 100 yet, so again, same thing. Strong support at that 68, possibility to move up to that 83. The 10 is in the downward direction, however. And if we look at the one slip here, we can see that for the most part, other than the 200, we're pretty well exhausted on the levels. So we could see a little bit of a comeback. Now, if a majority of these did come back down into this blue and pushed up with the purple, we would see a huge move, like very large move. So kind of like what we saw here. Purple was down below. Now the blue didn't quite come in, but the yellow was pushing up. And then when the white and aqua pushed up, we had that huge push, and that was like the 80, 100% move, 140%. So we're kind of at the point now where that 200 has tons of momentum to go, especially on the 3-day. So once this 200 purple gets up into this range, it's just going to push hard. So we'll see. We want these to cool off a little bit, come back down, and then push up with the purple, and we could see that $1, $2 move pretty quickly actually. On the daily itself, we have quite a bit of support on the 50, 100, and 200. So starting in at that 67, 66 cent area, and then coming down to the 200 purple, which is 61 cents. So anywhere between 61 to 65, there's quite a bit of support. Now price on the 10 it's already hit its target, of course. And so we're looking for more or less upward direction on the daily. 4-hour. Zoom in here a little bit. So the 4-hour is showing a little bit of weakness here actually. We have strong support on that 200 sitting at 70 cents, and then quite a bit of resistance above us now at that 77 to 78. So price will likely hover between the top of the 50 here up into this resistance level, up into this range, and then we'll see if we can push down further, or if we actually do go into trend again and push to the upward direction. So a little bit of a hard read on the Machine on the lower time frame here, but as of right now, we are in trend on that 10, so this will likely push up to the resistive level, try to break out one more time. You can see that it came in for the first time, and typically it wants to try and get out, go back into trend. So we'll see if it can get above that resistive. If it can't get above 78, then we'll likely see it push back down and try and take out the liquidity on this 56 cents. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll do a quick one on the 1 hour just because it is a bit of a hard read there. So again, some support on the 20, which is the white at 74 cents. We can see that the 20 is above that plus 100. The 10 is in trend, but it is pushing down. So again, you know, we're just trying to get above and get up into this resistive of 77 cents and see if we can get above, take out the liquidity across this top here, and then see if we can continue higher. On the Nexus, we look at the higher time frames. Let's zoom out so we can see it a little better. So we are on the yearly. This yearly is actually a bearish neutral. So for this year, because it is lower, we were looking for continuation to the downside. Now the only advantage we have is that it did open above the top of the yearly. So it does try to go bullish before it goes bearish. So, you know, we did kind of see that where we came into that yearly range. We found support off the bottom, holding it. And then when we pushed up, we'd be looking for the previous year high or the yearly R1. And that's pretty much exactly what we got on this one. So we got into that yearly R1, and then we're showing a bit of weakness. Now the nice thing is we did find support off that previous year high. So we'll see if we can get above that yearly R1 again. If we can, then, you know, we're likely try to push for this yearly R2. And then if we can get above that yearly R2, we break free of not only this previous year pivot, but above this one, and then we'd move into the next yearly, which would be, let's see where that one's at. So we try to get back up to that $1.40 if we can get above. If we can get above this pivot, then we're going to try to take out the liquidity here and try to get into this pivot on this guy. But again, as of right now, we got to get back above this yearly R1 to even consider going higher. Coming into the monthly. So on the monthly, we had that nice push down. You know, we found a little bit of resistance on the monthly R1, but we pushed up to the weekly R1. So if we just look at the weekly, you know, we were looking for continuation of the upside. We opened up above that weekly. So again, we pushed above the previous week high, got to the weekly R1, and then we collapsed right down into that weekly. And because the monthly was pretty much the exact same thing, where we're looking for a continuation of the upside, we opened above the monthly pivot. So we're looking for upward direction. We took out the previous month high, monthly R1, and then we hit the weekly R1 coming right back down into that monthly. And that was that was actually a really nice short of 15-20%. And now that we bounced right back up and we're above the weekly as well, you know, again, we're looking at taking out the liquidity above that weekly R1 coming into the monthly R2 or weekly R2. So that's kind of what we're looking for on Cardano. Now we do have a monthly naked down here at 35 cents. So that's something to consider. And that's also kind of where Bitcoin is at. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, even with Bitcoin, where are we going to get above that monthly R2 and possibly push higher, or are we going to start running out of steam on this, take out the liquidity of the previous high, kind of run out of steam, and then, you know, have a nice drop down into the 35 cent level. And there is a stock ratio that I'm going to talk about in the next Bitcoin video, but that probably won't be for a few more days. So that's pretty much all I got for Cardano. Like I said, wherever you are in the world today, whether it's morning, evening, or anywhere in between, have a good day.
Visit unRekt.me and download our free powerful indicators, and join our community of traders in our Discord server and get full access to the Machine Suite indicators, the Nexus Suite indicators, and the Nexus Screener.